Hello and welcome to another installment of the Drukhari releases. Yes, I am the fancy Archon Skari. As most people have noted, I am at work. I run my own business, and in between working, I get to talk about cool stuff, which is awesome. So, today, GW has released the preview for the witch cults. So let's go through them. First and foremost, witches are now less expensive, points-wise. They're 80 points for 10, which is awesome. And they have an extra attack. So base 2 attacks plus their little blade, so that's 3 attacks each at 8 points a model, which is great. Makes them very unique option. Then we go into the different cults. So like the Cabals, they will be in cults or the covens. The Cult of the Cursed Blade. It's funny because my cult is the Cult of the Bloodied Blade, which actually works really well. They get a +1 strength. In addition, when they fail a morale test, only 1 model must flee. I think that is very powerful, especially if you're running big blobs of 20 witches. Even if you lose 15 of them, only 1 will run, which is great. I love that. So that they become strength 4. If they still have combat drugs, they can maybe become strength 5, which is pretty cool. Now it says succubi have a point decrease. They can have a blast pistol. They can have warlord traits. For example, there is one called the Traitor's Embrace. It's a trait for the Cult of the Cursed Blade. Roll a d6 if the bearer is slain in the fight phase. On a 2+, the bearer explodes. And the unit that killed her suffers d6 mortal wounds. That's pretty cool. Can be like a final hoorah while your succubus just lunges and dies while attacking a demon prince or something, which would be pretty fun. Cult of Strife is essentially Lilith Hesperax's cult. So they get +1 attack. And any turn which they were charged, or make a heroic intervention. Pretty cool. It's just a lot of attacks if you want to do that route. And big thing is witches now have a 6+ invulnerable save all the time, even for shooting. Hooray! I'm so excited they actually did dodge for shooting. 6+ invulnerable save. As a person who's played witches before, I love that change. I love it. I think it's great because you can be out in the open and not just die horribly, which is nice. And it's a 4+ invulnerable save in the fight phase. Cool. That makes sense. Then we have a 3 command point stratagem for the Cult of Strife. When a unit has destroyed another unit in either shoot or fight phase, the enemy unit, your unit can immediately shoot an additional time this phase. And if it destroys something in fight phase, it can immediately fight an additional time this phase. So you can pile in, attack something, kill it, and then attack something else and hopefully kill it. Great, it's 3 command points, very expensive, but it's essentially your double attack or double shoot mechanic. Cult of the Red Grief. They can charge in the same turn in which they advanced. In addition, you can reroll failed charge rolls. So this, they recommend using Reavers for this. Hopefully Reavers are a little bit less expensive. With an 18-inch move and an 8-inch advance, that is crazy. And then being able to charge after that means you could have a swarm of Reaver jet bikes running up the board, tying things up while raiders deep strike in, do some damage with shooting, and then just like the second turn punch, like 1-2 punch. I love it. And then they have a hyper stim backlash. It's a stratagem. So you use it at the start of any battle round. It's 2 command points. You choose a unit from your army that has combat drugs. Until the end of the battle round, the bonus that unit receives is doubled. And then you roll a dice for each unit. On a roll of 1, that unit suffers a mortal wound as they drug themselves. That is awesome. If you use a stratagem model that has the Stim Addict Warlord trait, I'm assuming that's a cool Warlord trait that has to do with drugs, or the Bouquet Artifact, all its bonuses are doubled, but it will automatically suffer D3 mortal wounds at the end. So it kind of helps your Warlord too, but it can be dangerous if you inject stims into your system. Don't do drugs, kids, but witches do, and Hellions do, and Reavers do, and a lot of Dark Eldar do. As with the Drukhari Obsessions, you know, you combine it with detachments. I'm really liking this with the new Dark Eldar. You know, I had a game last night using a lot of these little things. I filmed it. I will be putting a battle report up. It was against Catachans. But I really liked having a Coven army. I had a little witch cult raiding force. I had my Cabal, and all the units in synergy just created a crazy flurry of just onslaught and put a lot of pressure on my opponent to the point where it was very overwhelming, and I really enjoyed that. So let me know what you think. If you haven't seen the other videos in this series, make sure you check them on the channel. Thanks a lot for subscribing and sharing. I'm going to be doing so much Dark Eldar content that I'm going to be flooding the internet with it. So if you're a Drukhari player, you want to learn how to play them, you know, consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you really like what I do and want to support me, Patreon. There's a link down below. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Skari, your grateful host, signing off. Until next time. Skari out.